water for this. It's not gonna connect. Well, you're not gonna get water now because yesterday you wouldn't get it.
It's a great point. It goes back to this is it developmentally appropriate? And I want to make sure it's developmentally appropriate for human beings, like a 2-year-old might be incapable of X. And then is it developmentally appropriate for your own child? So I don't know your particular child, but you're 100% right. At 2, you could not say, tomorrow I will be pouring your water.
Right.
Then tomorrow she doesn't know. So you have to start experimenting with ways in which, in the moment, she will see this as a natural consequence. So with and I want to just make this clear. At 2 years old, sometimes maybe you get let me help you out. It's not a big, she doesn't have to do it herself. So you have to decide what are your limits.
Right, let's clean it together.
Yeah, let's clean it together.
Right.
So I don't want this to seem like, oh, you got it. But that girl is 6 years old. You know, if my 22-month-old did it, it's not like, oh, well, you're not drinking out of your cup today, little boy. Like, it's crazy. So adapt to your situation. But you need to decide what's the freedom and what is the limit. I'm not telling you this is the exact limit you need to do, but what is it? Okay. You see what she did? So the limit here is that she needs to clean it up. And maybe I bet you she's gonna feel bad and so forth. That's going to happen. If you just go, oh, looks like we spilled, let's clean it up. And let's do it together. This is the big one. Let's do it together. You know? The problem that comes up is empathy. I've talked with a lot of teachers, and if they saw this with you guys, I don't know how parents are in this room, but if I do this at a presentation with all Montessori teachers, there might be 2 out of 100. They're like, oh, well, let's go clean it up. The other ones are gonna be like, because it happens all the time, and if this is your classroom, so even Montessori teachers can feel frustrated. We have to have empathy for this girl. We can't go over and go, oh, again? Didn't I just tell you? Can't you listen? We have to be very careful we're not on top of them. Have some empathy for this girl. She just spilled all this water. Maybe other kids see it. You know, who knows what she's feeling? We have to have empathy. But it's not always easy, like I was saying with Montessori teachers. Or when this happens at home. How many of you give the food, maybe you made this great meal, and just like your child's like, I'm not eating that. Anybody experience that ever? Yeah. Every day. So I put this because it can be, just put it like, it's enraging. Right? Can it be enraging at times? Like, especially if you made the meal. So, but I created this image. Dolly, actually. Not me personally, the AI created this image. Because I've had this image in my mind for a long time. And I was like, how do I you serve broccoli, and this is what he's thinking of. Pasta with a slice of pizza on top. It fits about almost all of our children. There's some universal principle there that I don't know about.
It's actually chocolate.
Yeah, okay, so your child's abnormal.
Yeah, totally.
I'm kidding.
She's special, we knew that.
So whatever your child happens to see in that bubble, I want you to remember that bubble because that's what's in their head. Right? What's your bubble? I'm curious. What's your bubble? Because sometimes I'll sit down at the dinner table, as good as it is, I'm picturing, we just went out at I'm picturing sushi. And not just sushi like down the block, you know, I'm talking like really good sushi. Do you guys have a bubble of your own? What would it feel like if somebody just came up and said, stop that and eat your food? What would you want to do?
Not eat it.
Yeah, something even worse than that, probably. But now, like, you would be, yeah, throw the food, which, interesting, don't they throw the food? That's exactly what they do. So now imagine your spouse, after you just made the meal, okay, and your spouse is like, I don't want this. You would be angry. So we've got this weird environment. Your marriage would be over. Your marriage would be over. So what I'm getting at here is like the empathy we have to have for this child is enormous because he's picturing something that you did not do. So there are different things that we can do, but I do want to note this. We can offer the empathy. Oh, you really want it because maybe he's yelling pasta. Pasta, I want pasta. You really wanted some pasta. Yeah. All of a sudden, it's like, I did want some pasta. Like, that's exactly it. How did you know? It's almost like this a magical thing that my dad can do. You know, like, again, he's not journaling, but it's like, can you How do you know? So just that, it lightens things. Okay, so now he's like, oh, my dad or my mom understands me, you know? So just that, just start with that. There's no freedom within limits. There's no you have to eat. Just, oh man, you don't want to eat this? What did you want to eat? So all of a sudden he's imagining, he's like, you understand me. Okay, now, is that going to be enough? No, of course not. So I know there's a lot of people that's like, oh, be empathetic to your child, you know, just to an extent, but you have to start with that. You have to start with that. But it doesn't end, so it just gets worse. This is Haim Granada. It says it takes great wisdom to realize that all feelings are legitimate. The positive, the negative, and the ambivalent. Whatever your child is feeling is okay for him or her to feel. That is actually, it's kind of a radical statement. Even if they feel like they want, like I just said, you went in there and you're like, eat your food, and they're thinking of this other, and they're angry at you. Like they're enraged with you. That is okay. That's tough as a parent. Yeah.
I think it's okay for them to feel it. I think that we have to teach them better ways of expressing it.
Definitely. See, I leave it to you guys to come up with the next point. So they can feel anything they want, but they can't act in any way they want. I think there's a big distinction with adults today too. Isn't it like, oh, I do whatever I want? No, you can feel whatever you want. If you're angry, you're happy, that's fine. I'm cool with that. But if you start acting on those feelings, but I want to get this across because sometimes we need to be careful. All of those feelings are allowed. All of them. I hate you is allowed, but they can't act on it. And even them yelling I hate you at you is problematic too. I'm talking about the feelings inside that make you feel in the moment they hate you. So you have to start with acknowledging their emotions. If they're really angry, oh, you're really angry right now. If you're at the park and you're like, okay, we gotta go. No, I want to stay. It's not like, I told you it's gonna be 2 minutes. Let's go. It's, oh man, you want to stay a little bit longer, huh? That's it. Start with that. It's not going to solve the problem, but it does it lightens things. It really lightens things. So start with empathy, all right? Now we go back to this. I'm going to give a few examples here. So this situation, if we have the prepared environment plus empathy, and they have physical malnutrition, what's some things that are wrong in this environment that could lead to problems where your child's not going to listen to you? Too many. I mean, there's crayons everywhere. Yeah. How do you even clean this up? You tell your child clean up, and there's stuff everywhere. How does he even do it? What is that?
I got the washables. I'm not gonna do it. It's creativity.
Okay. Oh, let me make no guilt. No guilt. Okay. So if your wall is able to color on, and you have the wash, that's actually pretty cool. But there needs to be a time to clean it up. So if you find that you're cleaning it up and you don't even need this. What are you doing? Okay. So the one thing is there's stuff everywhere. Okay. Even if you have washables, this is problematic usually because there's no order here. It feels like it'd just be wherever. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, there's no table, so it's just like the couch there.
No, he doesn't have another option.
Yeah, it's just that. There's just that, and I don't know what these things are. Yeah, toys. He needs, but there's plants over there, but I don't know what he's doing with them. I don't know what's going on here. But the point is, this doesn't look like the type of environment that's going to help us have our child listen to us. It doesn't feel like that. Now I want to go here. I'm not going to get. This is our environment. This is what he was doing when we were watching a television show, and I was like, oh my God, I was just so excited that it worked. I was feeling like, oh my gosh, it's worked. So I took a picture, in the room, and he's doing that. But I want to show you what he was doing. So we live on an acre in Stewart, okay? Normally we live in cities like you guys in Miami, but we decided to do this thing, and we live on an acre. And there's these backyard birds that we'll hear chirping, and we see them. And I got super excited about that. And I bought, and Ragnar did too. So I bought these little objects that look exactly like the birds, but they're miniature, okay? And then my wife, being the Montessori, master, she said, oh, I'm going to get matching cards. So she got matching cards with the bird's name. And we gave them to our son. So he's busy matching these in the room. So it's for him, it's developmentally appropriate. He knows these birds from our own backyard. Then we have the little miniatures so he can handle them, and then he's got matching cards. And he was doing that in the room. And that allows me that I don't have to keep yelling at him, not yelling at him, but saying, Mom can't come right now, we're doing something, because he's engaged on his own. So I'm just giving you a couple examples just so you can see that you can do this type of thing with your own child in your own way. These are the little things from Amazon. I'm not promoting it. I don't know. And then my wife did the cards. And I want to note that this is from Village. Yeah. So she's matching, I don't know what these are, gourds. I don't even know what these things are, but she probably does. So she's doing matching. So I want to make this clear. This is not like, this is what you need to do. We do backyard birds because we have them. In here, are there even birds in Brickell anymore? So you guys would have buildings, skyscrapers, or different types of vehicles. So I'm not judging what you use, but do something that's real in the real world, that you can build independence, that has order, that they can do independently. And it will help overall. Now I do want to note though, that we still have days where he says, Mom, Mom, Mom. And we still have days where he says, Mom, 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 after I've been with him maybe for the day, or my wife's been in the classroom for the whole day, and all we want to do is chill. So when those moments happen, like you had talked about, you start seeing red. You start seeing red. Now, as good as I am, I mean, I've been in this 20 years, my wife's been doing time, we still have those moments where it's like, you're just frustrated, you're done. I am done. But I chose to have a child. And a child is 24 hours, 7 days a week, right? As a teacher, I could just leave, walk out the classroom, or the bell rings and parent picks you up and it's gone. We can't leave. So what do you do when you see red?